Right, I am thinking, so I've got some schematics, don't use that. I've taken I think this is like a home key, it's like the diagonal up that way. I took that off and gave it a scrub to see how it came up, so I'm going to put that one back on. But I am thinking of taking this power cable off. As I said, it's got tape on it, so it's obviously had much better days. So I'm thinking of taking that cord off and making my own cable, so that wherever I've put it, there it is. So then I'll just make a cable with a socket on it, so then I can plug this alternate power supply straight into that. So we'll do that. And I've been looking at the schematics, and it looks like I was right about the RGB being this one, which is X5 on the schematic. So we have, so we have X5 down here, pins 3, 4 and 5. So there's X5 next to this interface there, so that's this one here. And then we've got up here, we've got pin 1 and 2 for X5 as well, which are the black and white cable that go from down here up to here. And if we look at these, that's the board layout. So if we look at the schematic, we can see we've got RGB, pin 5, 4 and 3, and then we've got video and ground up here as well. So I'm not sure, so video is in composite video, or isn't that is the sync for the RGB? But yes, anyway, so yeah, so that one is definitely some sort of video output. So to see if this works, first of all is making up the new power cable, and then making up yet another RGB cable. But I think I might, if I can see the problem when I made my little banana clips, is I should have just chopped them off, there sort of thing, so that they were longer. A little short, but I can move that around there. Anyway, power cable first, so that'll be a bit of work. So I can unscrew this, desolder those, and I'll use some proper color coding. So we've got black for 0 volts, red minus 12 volts, and plus or minus 5 volts is white, which is, I think, opposite to what the actual power supply's got. Power supply has got 2 red and 1 white, I think. Anyway, so unscrew this, desolder these, get the grommet off, make a new cable. Oh, and in case you're a newcomer to my videos or these computers, one thing you notice is Space Invader capacitors. Because you'll note that there's a lack of conformal coding, so lots of exposed traces. So the capacitors have to be put in kind of like that. So this is a normal one. There's some normal ones there, but mostly I see them like this. This is why I didn't even mention it before, because I'm used to seeing them like that. So anyway, so I've got the cable off, so I'm going to color code it. So we're going to have black for ground, we're going to have red for plus 5 volts, we're going to have yellow for plus 12 volts, we'll have, I think, green for minus 5 volts. That's what I think what I've seen before. Yeah. And I will see if I've got an inline socket, otherwise I will have to use a plug. Right, I've got my power cables. I found 2 5-pin inline sockets, So what I'm thinking is that I am going to wire these up. Why did I have two? I don't need that one at the moment, I just need one. I'm going to wire this one up the same as the Meanwell power supply that I'm going to use. This one here. Because I think it's going to be a while before I've finished tidying up this original power supply. And it's got a socket on it anyway, so if I put a socket on here, I'm going to need a plug-to-plug converter cable. Maybe, I don't know if pinout's the same or not. So I might as well wire the socket up so that it is compatible with the Meanwell, and we can just plug it straight in. So this time I'm going to try and do a good cable, so I'm going to put some braiding on it and everything as well. So this is going to take me a little bit to think about. Extreme close up. So I've had a look and confirmed that we've got ground minus 5 volts, ground plus 12 volts, plus 5 volts. So I will solder it up appropriately. Alright, so we've got the socket part done. Now I think I will just probably braid these or something and then stick them in a sleeve, and yeah, let's see how we go with that. Did I miss something there? No, that's right, I think. So far so good, I think. And you get the idea. So here's the braided cable. I think it'd be much easier if I just bought multi-core cable, to be honest. But this is what I've got handy. So now to sleeve it up, really. I should put some tape around that end just to hold it. And yeah, figure out the next step. Okay, getting there. A little bit of glue shrink wrap there. I've got the braid going on, so it's kind of like a snake swallowing an egg. Let me sort this mess out. It's kind of like, yeah, snake swallowing an egg. I've got some heat shrink up here already to kind of seal that end. Oh, okay. I didn't even check how long it was, so maybe I don't think this braid's going to be long enough. No, all right. I didn't realise it was short. Okay, let's start again. Find some longer braid. This one. Okay. So yeah, if we just check how long this is, yes, nowhere near long enough. So, what's this, a bit of 8mm heat shrink on the end here. Okay, kind of does help having this all taped up together. Might actually tape it up a little bit more. Right, so we've basically got it done. I think, yeah, in future I'm going to buy just multi-core cable. So the idea here is that we can just basically move this up over here and join it all up so it's all nice. Let's see. like that kind of, and then I'll just heat it and glue it. Okay, so this is the original cable. So we've got a grommet. I don't know if that's metal or, oh, that's just string. So I've got a grommet where it enters the machine, and that's pretty much open. So what all I really need is to have some heat shrink here, and then, well, really I could cut this, have some heat shrink there, and then just the bare wires, and then just need to get the grommet on. Well, I've got new grommets, so I'll see how I go with this. Oh, okay, so here's the end result. I'm not terribly happy with it, but it'll do. So this will go into the to the Lviv, and this will plug into the Meanwell power supply, and should power it. So now it's just a matter of getting the video cable sorted, and we'll see if it works. All right, it looks like a mess. It is a mess, but I've got the power cable hooked up, and of course it's RGB video and ground, so 5 pins, but of course it's a 7-pin DIN. Right, okay, so I've got a 5-pin plugs in, but the problem is they're using I have made up a composite cable. I need to find it. So, but they are using, so they've got 3, 4 and 5 apparently for blue, green, red, and then they've got ground on pin 6, and then video on pin 2. So I don't know if that's composite. So I've got an extra cable here for ground. So let's see what happens. Yeah, hang on. All right, now let's power it on. Turn the soldering iron off. Something. And whoop. This is me randomly pressing buttons. Hang on. Interesting effect. Power's on. So I think some more work's required. It's not really ideal having it kind of like this, you know. You've got the, yeah, you know, probably, I'm not too sure. I'm gonna have to read more about the video out, because we've got RGB, video, and ground. So on a 7-pin DIN. So is video the sync, or how do I? Yeah. So that might require some more work, but it's, yeah, I think, yeah, there might be some issues. It is an old 8088. Yeah, so it could be working, but that's just not sync. Maybe it's just composite. And I did make up a composite cable. I should make up another one. Yep. All right. So I made some progress today. I think, yeah, I think I'll just buy a pre-made 5-pin DIN extension cord or something, put it in. This is kind of okay for now. Yeah, so getting there. I'll just make sure there's no funny business going on. Yeah, interesting. I definitely want to get this one to work. But then I've got my partner I need to get back to as well. I've got some ideas on that one. Okay, till next time.